Good afternoon and welcome to NTA Benin News at 1. I'm Paul Omukago with the details. Benin monarch Oba Ewai II has warned all parties allegedly involved in illegal possession and sale of lands belonging to individuals, corporate entities and the palace to desist from the act. This was at a press briefing in Benin. Oba Ewai II called for an end to the practice of land grabbing, which he says has reached an unprecedented level. Our correspondent has details.
The Palace of the Oba of Benin, through its spokesman, vehemently denounced the argument of land grabbers and illegal purchasers that the Oba forbids demolition of structures built on an illegally acquired land, citing cases of land disputes in Uhiri, where the Enogie of Ulegu physically attacked and annexed lands belonging to the people, as well as a recent case of some youths in Ogege community taking possession of a popular church land and selling it off illegally. The palace unequivocally condemned the act, describing it as domestic terrorism.
It should be noted that several parcels of land belonging to the palace have been taken over by land grabbers. The recent incident at Okiri happened because of the impunity of the Enogi and use of Ulegu and the illegal buyers who typically built up structures hurriedly to avoid the law.
Meanwhile, Oba Ewai II solicits support of the new commander of 4th Brigade, Nigerian Army, in putting an end to challenges of land-related cases. He made the appeal during a courtesy visit by the new commander, Brigadier General Dalami Ndai, to his palace.
We know that in addition to your normal duty as protecting the entire state from external aggressors, you are also assisting the police. You are assisting to ensure internal security.
We will do our best to assist where we can, to support the police in doing their job.
The Oba traced the renewed cases of forceful land possession to the nefarious activities of members of the outlawed Community Development Association, CDA. In Benin, Paul Omukago.
The new executive members of the Nigerian Bar Association Benin branch has been urged to shun corrupt practices and to toe the line of honor. The Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Joe Asha, gave this charge during the inauguration of the new executive members of the bar. Eugenia Ndebisi tells us more.
The Chief Judge of Edo State, represented by Justice Vesti Eboreme, performed the swearing-in ceremony.
That I will pledge to allegiance to the Nigerian Bar Association.
The Chief Judge, while congratulating the NBA for their just concluded national conference, was also happy for the outgone executive members of the branch, led by Pius Oyiwo, called the Lion Bar, for their fruitful and exemplary tenure.
I also congratulate the new executive. I urge you to continually keep the flame of this harmonious relationship between the bar and the bench in Edo State burning brightly.
The new chairman of the NBA Benin branch, Nosahai Edo Osage, promised to further enhance welfare of members and sustain legacies of the outgone executive. The immediate past chairman, Pius Oyiwo, while recounting achievements of his administration, thanked members for their support.
I shall reach out to the Lord to see to the possibility of a memo being issued by the office of the Chief Registrar of the Edo State Judiciary to the effect that courts in Edo State that are not sitting should inform counsel and litigant 48 hours before the time of sitting.
We are hopeful you will take the bar to a greater height and to build on the gains of this outgoing administration.
Some individuals were presented with awards, including Pastor Greg Iyayi for his support to the bar, the legal profession, and service to humanity.
I was away from my chambers from October 2020 to March 2021, a period of about 5 or 6 months. And the fact that that sacrifice has been recognized is going to motivate me to do more for the bar and then do more for people who are downtrodden, who are oppressed, who are afflicted, and who have been victims of state brutality.
We are so happy for him and we wish him more successes.
And I pray this will be the last, and I pray that God continue to strengthen him.
The Lion Bar is roaring, and is roaring loud and clear, and we're very proud of the new leadership that we have been entrusted with.
We are very hopeful that the incoming executive will surpass his achievement. We know them, they are men of capacities.
The Plot B ground floor building of the NBA Benin branch secretariat was commissioned in Benin. Eugenia and DBC, NTA News.
Thank you, Eugenia. 44 newly promoted senior and upgraded officers of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Edo State Command, have been decorated. Ogochukwu Ona reports that this came with a reminder that promotions or elevations come with corresponding responsibilities.
The recent promotion examinations in the Nigeria Immigration Service materialized in the promotion of the 4,731 officers as part of the Comptroller General of Immigration Service Reforms Action Plan, and Edo State Command has 44 senior officers out of this number. They are 3 Assistant Comptroller of Immigration to Deputy Comptroller of Immigration, 6 Deputy Superintendent of Immigration to Superintendent of Immigration, 12 Assistant Superintendent of Immigration 1 to Deputy Superintendent of Immigration. Others are 16 Assistant Superintendent of Immigration 2 to Assistant Superintendent of Immigration 1, and Chief Immigration Assistant to Assistant Superintendent of Immigration 2.
Let me emphasize that promotion comes with corresponding and added responsibilities. As a result, the service expects a high level of job performance and proper conduct from all officers promoted.
Flanked by an immediate family member, they all defied the reins to be decorated with their new ranks as words of encouragement filter into their ears. They are grateful.
On behalf of the newly promoted officers, we promise to speak immigration, work immigration, and project immigration in a great limelight.
And of course, family members will always have good wishes.
What do you have to tell him at this point? Keep moving higher, keep achieving, and he will get there in Jesus' name.
Promotion means more commitment. So she will serve immigration better, she will do, and God will promote her again.
It's a huge breakthrough for my family, and I love my husband so much because he has put so much effort in immigration service.
In Benin, Ogochukwu Ona, NTA News.
Congratulations to the newly promoted officers. Moving on, experts say enforced disappearance is synonymous with kidnapping and other related crimes such as human trafficking. They are of the opinion that enforced disappearance violates the fundamental human rights of persons and poses danger to society. Emanuela Bomo has the report.
Experts are of the opinion that enforced disappearance has taken a different tone and that it has become a global issue. They want the government at all levels to set rules and punish offenders. Parents also urged to play their roles properly as majority of people missing are being trafficked or used for harvesting.
Human trafficking, because in most cases where we have persons missing, it is usually related to cases of human trafficking and this aspect we don't really talk about, which has to do with this, I know, ritual killing and all that. But in most cases, when we search for persons, it's as a result of being trafficked.
From the other perspective, enforced disappearances may occur due to political rivalry.
Enforced disappearance also means kidnapping, because when you're taken against your wish, that means you're being kidnapped. But from the journalist perspective, the profession has numerous assets.
In Benin, Emanuela Bomo, NTA News.
The news is being streamed on our YouTube channel, NTA Benin. You can subscribe and be part of the news online, and you can reach out to NTA Benin Newsroom or any breaking news. and happening in Edo State via the number 091 535 596 59648. You can also send WhatsApp messages to the same number. And now it's time for our first break.
Next time you visit the ancient city of Benin, two things will excite you: the warmth and welcome of its people, and of course, the class and style of its hospitality business. Randeki Gold, home of hospitality like no other, located in one of the most serene environments in the ancient city, truly classy and exquisite with world-class facilities, fully equipped digital multipurpose hall with life-size, ultra-high definition LED screen, 180 square meters king-size swimming pool with bubble bath, enough to leave you breathless. The exotic Ariel's Bistro and Grill restaurant with variety of continental dishes, especially some of the rarest delicacies you can find in town. Fact is, a visit will truly convince you that we are gold. Randeki Gold is the gold wing of the prestigious Randeki Royal Hotel at 6 Uhenoyi Street off Ihama and Boundary Roads, GRA Benin City. www.randekihotels.com. Randeki Gold, our hospitality is gold.
Do you live in Aduawa and its environment? Or you need a conducive and open field in Aduawa for your wedding receptions, birthday parties, annual ceremonies, family or corporate events in a serene and conducive environment that is close to nature? Then look no further. NTA Benin Aduawa is the place for you. NTA Benin Aduawa has a large field for all your other events and ceremonies. Also, at NTA Corporate Headquarters, TV Road, we have a state-of-the-art, fully air-conditioned, ultra-modern hall for all kinds of indoor events with a standby generating set to ensure constant power supply. We also have the NTA Pavilion for all your outdoors events at the same venue. Guess what? Our prices are affordable. Locations are easily accessible. Venues conducive and highly secure. Our outside broadcast van is available 24 hours and can broadcast your event live. And above all, you can air your event on our award-winning programs like Events and Style. Wow, what are you waiting for? Grab this opportunity and have your celebration in a grand style. For inquiries and bookings, please call NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Good to know you're still there. If you're just joining us, it is NTA Benin News Update at 1. Guests on NTA Benin News and Current Affairs program, Midweek Connect, have attributed the growing rate of drug abuse in the society, especially among youths, to the economic situation in the country. They expressed this view during the NTA Benin regular TV program, Midweek Connect, this Wednesday. Esoe Oni reports.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime World Drug Report 2022 has found that cannabis legalization in some parts of the world has been accelerated in its use and health impacts associated with cannabis consumption, particularly among young adults. According to the report, around 284 million people aged between 15 to 64 worldwide engage in drug abuse, and this has had an increase of 26% over the previous decades. The report estimated that about 11.2 million people worldwide were ingesting drugs. While shedding more light on the issues of drug abuse, the guests in Midweek Connect expressed the view that the situation arises due to excessive consumptions of drugs. They also noted that the current spike in the rate of criminalities in the country can also be associated with drug abuse, even as they believe that the statistics of mentally deranged individuals recorded in recent times in the states are drug-related cases.
Drug abuse is particularly a situation that arises when you take something that changes your mood, your chemical composition, and you cannot become a real person again. Meaning, from that normal person you are, you became a subnormal person, because that automatically change your mood, your thinking, your disposition, and all this kind of stuff. And so, but when you abuse it, that means you have gone beyond this level. Particularly, maybe when you started with taking the let us say, for instance, alcohol. You started by taking a bottle of beer, Maybe that's you try to experiment the drug.
If you take drug that is legally prohibited, drugs when it is not medically necessary, you take drugs again when it is excessively used, like this alcohol, we say you have abused drugs.
They therefore advise victims to desist from drug abuse as relatives are enjoined to always take them to rehabilitation centers for care, while appealing to the government to also pay close attention and regulation to the use of social drugs such as alcohol and herbal medicine.
We go to schools. Before we were going to universities, we were going to higher schools, but now we have come as low as going to primary schools because we know there is need for to catch them young.
Recently, almost 17 cannabis farms, dry season cannabis farms in Edo State alone here. That is the huge quantity of drugs that have been removed from society. If those things have been allowed to be harvested, get to maturity age and be harvested and come back to society for consumption. So if not for information that people give to us like you, we wouldn't have known where all these farms are.
It is therefore expected that government regulation through increased awareness will help to reduce the rate of drug abuse and its attendant consequences. In Benin, Esoe Oni, NTA News.
In another development, experts have described Nigeria's success at attaining 3 years of polio-free society to the collaborative efforts between the 3 tiers of government and the healthcare providers. Philomena Ogbebo has more.
Polio is a life-threatening disease caused by polio virus, medical experts says. The virus spreads from person to person through contamination of feces. The disease infects the sufferer's spinal cord, causing paralysis and spreads easily to people that are not vaccinated. The highly infectious viral disease affects children under 5 years of age. The first polio vaccine is given when an infant is 6 weeks. In 2021, statistics has revealed in Nigeria that 451 cases was reported, while in 2022 the number of sufferers remained 30, an indication that it has reduced in Nigeria. Nigeria is the last African country to be declared free from white polio by World Health Agency in 2020. Experts attributed this feat to aggressive vaccination of children under the age of 5 with oral polio vaccines.
When polio infects a child, it can be asymptomatic. It can result in a mild illness with fever, child being generally ill. But in about 1% of cases, it will lead to what we call paralytic polio. So it paralyzes the lower limbs, the upper limbs of the children. Sometimes polio can be so bad that when it causes bulbar polio or bulbospinal polio, the person can be paralyzed from neck down, and it would involve the muscles for breathing and the child would die. But what we generally would see are the ones whose limbs are paralyzed, so maybe the 2 legs or maybe a hand and a leg, and this is very sad because polio is preventable. How is polio preventable? It is preventable by administering vaccines to children, and when the vaccine coverage is low, then the organism continues to be transmitted, and that was basically what was happening to us.
Parents interviewed are not ignorant of the virus.
Women should, as a matter of urgency, give their children this vaccine.
Okay, why I want my children to be taking it is that I don't want them to have that infection.
The polio vaccine is very good to give a baby. That's why I give them so that many no do them.
Experts say Nigeria must strengthen its surveillance strategy and immunization program to wipe polio completely out of Nigeria's society. In Benin, Philomena Ogbebo, NTA News.
Well done, Philomena. Now it's time for another break. When we come back, we shall be telling you some good news from the sports desk.
Hello there! Welcome to the newest lounge in the ancient city of Benin, Hyperion Lounge, a lounge with good food, music, drinks, karaoke, networking, exclusive for VVIP, and a relaxed environment to meet the right people. Hyperion Lounge is situated at rooftop floor, which has a panoramic view of the city. Visit us at 76 Akpakava Central Hotel, Efedosa Signature, opposite First Bank, Benin City. For seat reservation, call 091-5111-1123. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hyperion Central. Email info.hyperioncentral@gmail.com. All COVID-19 guidelines is strictly adhered. Hyperion Lounge. Exclusivity redefined.
It was really a tough battle. We were 29 and I think we were about 2 women.
I couldn't sort of buy the equipment as quickly as I went, but I thank God.
In Nigeria, I became the first lady that specialized in psychiatry.
First case against the senior advocate.
Were there challenges?
So many of the men wanted to take me out of my business.
Welcome back. Hopness is sports update with Kene Ima Agbodike.
President of Nigeria Football Federation, Sheyi Akiwumi, declares to run for the president of the federation at the forthcoming elective congress. Business of football, development, infrastructure, and technology would be his major focus if elected.
Every decision that I will take as president of the Nigeria Football Federation will be in the interest of football.
In Ogun State, an international football scouting delegation, which is partnering the state government, has inspected facilities at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta and the sports complex of Remo Stars Football Club in Ikenne, ahead of a scouting program to discover and nurture talent at the grassroots.
This has the capacity of lifting thousands of families out of poverty, in Nigeria. So it's, it's very laudable and highly commendable.
The facilities we have received, yes, this fit perfectly. It has everything that this program are searching and looking for.
In tennis, four-time champion Rafael Nadal is in second round of the US Open after rallying past Rinke Hijikata of Australia in 4 sets, 4-6, 6-2, 6-3, 6-3 at Flushing Meadows, where he is competing for the first time since he won the 2019 title. In the women's singles, 7-time Grand Slam winner Venus Williams was sent packing in straight set 6-1, 7-6 by Alison van Uytvanck of Belgium. In other results, David Shapovalov beat Marc-Andre Huesler 2-6, 6-4, 6-4, 3-6, 6-1. Victoria Azarenka defeated Ashlyn Kruger 6-1, 4-6, 6-2, while former champion Naomi Osaka and women's defending champion Ima Raducanu crashed out in first round. That's Sports Update. I am Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And with Sports Update, we draw the curtains on our news update at this point in time. Do remember to join us for a fresh bulletin of the news at 7 p.m. Good afternoon.